Why do diaspora women quote unquote marry down? Is this a problem really in our diaspora communities? Well, good evening, family. As you all can tell, it is graduation season once again, and everybody's really excited. This is one of the reasons I actually just traveled back from Kenya. I have a bunch of students who are graduating, and I'm really thrilled to see them through the finish line. So I'm just getting ready with my gown to go celebrate these folks who have worked extremely hard. Some of them have actually been with us for quite some time, especially our doctoral students. And so we are really thrilled to finally walk them through the stage and let them acquire new titles to do what they are supposed to do out there in the field. So really, May is my favorite time of the year in my professional work for a number of reasons. For number one, May is my birth month. Two, it signals the end of the school year. And of course, summer is staring at us right in the face. And that often means Karateng is wide open, ready to receive us for another couple of months. And so May really is one of the best months for me, besides December when it's festive season and all that stuff. So this is, professionally speaking, May is like the best time of my life. So tonight, I will be attending the Black or Pan-African graduation ceremony, which is one of the many cultural celebrations that we typically hold in many U.S. universities. Here, with these types of cultural celebrations, besides the main graduation, this is a very unique ceremony because this is the one space where we can be ourselves. And I mean, as Black people, we can be ourselves. We dance, we yell, we shout, we giyo, we jeer, we golomoya, without judgment. It's all you do, you have fun, and we are all celebrating it compared to the formal other university-wide graduation. So again, I'm just getting ready, and it's gonna be fun. But as you're going to watch this video, I want to talk with you about this phenomenon that you might be familiar with. That is diaspora women, quote unquote, marrying down. And this seems to be quite a problem in certain pockets of our communities. In many households, it's not a problem. But I've seen so much tension happen in some families, and I think we should talk about it. But before we unpack all of that, welcome to Long Beach, my friends. This is my adopted home in California, but I live in Karateng, which is in Western Kenya. So I go back and forth, spend a few months in the US and a few months in Karateng. As a Kenyan American, of course, I'm in the process of doing everything to return permanently to the village, and I help returnees with the same process. So if you're out there looking for land, you're out there trying to do some construction work, and you need help with architects, builders, and things like that, hit me in the number below and we'll figure it out. So join me and let's talk about this issue of women, quote unquote, marrying down. Now, I use the term marrying down in quotes because that is not my phrasing. This issue of marrying down is often used to refer to people who marry other folks who are perceived to have a lower educational, financial, or social status. So again, for many of us raised in the village, this really deviates from the norms that we were raised. It was always that the men made more money, the men were more educated, and the men had a higher social status. But then we move into diaspora, where this equation is flipped, sometimes over time. In fact, as you're going to watch the graduation, you will pay attention to the people you're going to see. More than 60% of the graduates are women. More than 70% of my students are actually identify as female. And in my program, when you look at the faculty composition, I'm literally the only male person in our entire program. And in the entire college of education, we are literally 2 Black male professors. And so this phenomena is very much part of my reality, both at work and in my personal life. Now, once upon a time, it was fairly common for highly educated men in society to marry women who are perceived to be less educated. However, gaps in educational experience among heterosexual couples is really growing. But this time around, it's the women who are quote unquote marrying down. Now, the phenomenon of women marrying down is one of those things that academics sometimes call hypogamy. And it's really on the rise in many, many areas, I think Kenya included. In fact, women are now more likely to marry less educated men as compared to just a few years ago. In diaspora particularly, this is almost the reality that I see. Now, some people argue that this phenomena is because there's just not enough educated men out there that are suitable for marriage. Other folks, especially within the manosphere, claim that women's advancement is to be blamed for this reality. Now, the rise of better educated women raises all sorts of questions. The question is, what is drawing people to these kinds of relationships? Have women's strides in the labor market given them more latitude to marry whomever they love, or are they just settling? Now, how do these couples divide paid and unpaid work? Are they happy? Or is their unconventional setup a strain on their relationships? So these are questions that many families in diaspora are grappling with as we speak. So a growing body of research suggests that women indeed, for sure, this is not just an anecdote. Research actually shows that women are marrying less educated men simply because that is who is available, and may not necessarily be a question of changing preferences. So without enough college-educated men to go around, college-educated women are just going to marry the men without degrees. However, it turns out that the college-educated women are partnering up more with the highest-earning men without degrees. So again, this is where I think Musa or Loetes might have an issue here. Some couples that I've spoken with have mentioned that for these arrangements where a woman marries a less educated man who makes more money, it turns out that it's the man's ability to make money that got the woman through to school. So again, these dynamics are very wide in terms of experiences from one family to another. So the bigger question is, does this matter? And I think it does, because I can tell you, I know so many couples in my circles who are really struggling as we speak because of the evolving financial, social, and educational experiences that are changing within their families. And the couples I'm talking about are people who, when they started, they were either at the same place or the man had more money or more education. And then over time, the woman began to make more money or got a few more degrees on top. And then things evolved over time. Now, I'm not saying this is the only issue that is raising tension in those families. Typically, you'll find this is one of the many things going on. Not just a question somebody is making more money or getting more education. But I know of a lot of diaspora couples who are having a very hard time navigating these issues. But at the same time, I acknowledge that there's so many other couples for whom this is absolutely nothing. In fact, I've seen men who are doing everything possible to push their spouses much further in terms of education, in terms of careers, and they're really excited to see their partners do well. I would say, in fact, in my small circle, the majority of men I know do that. They support their wives, they do everything possible to get their wives to do well, and that doesn't seem to be an issue. But for this specific group where this is a problem, then there are things that need to be resolved. And so, as I said, lots of couples are doing well, some are struggling. But slightly unrelated is also this group of couples where the men are the ones who are sitting at home and the women are busting their tails out there doing everything to bring bread to the table. I've never fully understood this phenomenon, where some men are very comfortable just sitting at home and the wife just does pretty much everything, goes out there, is the one working, paying all the bills, and even when she gets back at home, she still has to do the household chores, perhaps more than the guy. Never understood it, but it's a lifestyle out there. But I know for men who are raised in the village like myself, who are socialized around traditional gender roles, some of us struggle with this new reality of women being in a different position education-wise, socially, and financially. some men begin to experience inferiority complex. And I've seen cases where they actually even go as far as sabotaging their wives from getting additional degrees, because in their minds they think that when their wives get advanced degrees, then that sort of takes away from their position as quote unquote men, or whatever nonsense they were taught about being the head of the family growing up. So, and I'm using that very specifically to mean that personally, I don't believe in things like that. But it's okay if you believe something different. So anyway, some women, unfortunately, a few of them are not prepared to also deal with this reality. In fact, I've seen a few of them who I would say perhaps apply some maladaptive ways to deal with this new reality when they move to a position where they're now better educated or make more money. And I'll give you two examples. For one, I know folks where when they started, the woman was making less. And then she goes to school, has more education, makes more money. At the time she was making less, the guy was shouldering all the weight of their financial commitments. And then she starts making more money and she does not want to help more. And that becomes a problem in the family. I've seen cases where some women are very comfortable sharing the reality that they're making more money out there with their friends and their families. So again, I am no marriage counselor, so don't even listen to me at all. I think this is one issue that will require a lot of wisdom, ethic of care, and patience. So again, I hope you look at your spouse as their success is everybody's success. But again, what do I know? Do you, folks? I'll see you in the next. Thank you.